That, hang on. It's really stuck in there. Now who cares about the strap? Hey guys and gals, it's me Super Rocket, and today we're gonna be reviewing Uncharted, or should I say, apa kabar semua? Nama saya Super Rocket, and kita akan review cerita Uncharted. Yeah, if you're wondering what language that was, it was the language Nathan Drake spoke in the first game. Yeah, I know I'm a bit late to reviewing this movie, but I really want to talk about it. Mostly because a particular part of the advertising of this movie kind of caught my attention, make me really want to analyze this movie a bit more deeper. And what would that be, you might ask? Well, you see, when the first trailer came out for this movie, a lot of people were a bit displeased, mostly I'm guessing the main Uncharted fans, because, you know, it didn't really feel that much like Uncharted. But then the second trailer came around and people were a bit more alright with it at best. And yeah, people were a lot more into it because, well, a certain character looked much more closer to how he is in the video games. Why does that sound so familiar?
Get your coat on 30-ounce drinks today! Subway, where winners eat. Ow!
And of course, this is the first time in 2022 that we're gonna do a non-spoiler review, and then we're gonna go on to some spoilers. It's been a while since I said that. So without further ado, let's get into it.
3, 2, 1.
Ready for liftoff, Super Daniel Rocket. Get ready for it. So of course, before we actually start reviewing this, I might have to give a little crash course on what the Uncharted franchise is all about. So, Uncharted is a video game series created and developed by Naughty Dog. It's about a guy named Nathan Drake who's a thief/treasure hunter who goes on incredible adventures that usually lead him into saving the world. Nathan Drake acted as a mascot for the PlayStation 3 era, similar to what happened with the Jak and Daxter series in the PlayStation 2 era, as well as Crash Bandicoot in the PlayStation 1 era. Both of them are also created by Naughty Dog. Fun fact! Did you know that this movie took almost 15 years of development? That is not a joke! Oh, yeah. Thanks, Weird Reality warped me. So they decided to do some sort of origin story for the character for this movie, which I guess is a pretty alright decision because, you know, for the older fans, they get to see something more unique than from what they've seen in the games. And it's also a nice way for people to get used to the Nathan Drake characters, for, you know, people to, you know, grow with him throughout this movie and then maybe the other movies. And they really emphasize this in the character of Nathan Drake in this movie. You can clearly tell he's kind of new to the whole thief business, I guess you can say. And yeah, you can definitely see some parts of the attitude of the Nathan Drake we see in the games. It's just that it's not fleshed out, and I think that might be the point because, yeah, this is a more younger Nathan Drake from what we've seen before in the video games. He will grow into that over time. So I think they did a pretty good job, and Tom Holland's acting actually really make it all work pretty well. This kind of origin story for the character kind of reminds me of what they did for the first Sonic movie. They did try to explore Sonic's origin story in that, but unlike the first Sonic movie, they do embrace the whole thing of, you know, it's a movie about the video game Uncharted. For Sonic, the first movie at least, they try to step away from all of that so they can save it for a sequel. Here, they aren't afraid to put in all the aspects of it, which is pretty cool. I'm glad they really embrace it. It kind of feels like some sort of a Sonic Mania-esque Uncharted movie, I guess. But I do feel like some of them should be put away for maybe a future movie. Like, I always didn't get why they decided to do the plane sequence now. It was such a surprise when I saw it in the first trailer. I was like, wait, what, now? And yeah, I mean, but there are some that do make sense. Like, of course, they do take aspects from Uncharted 4 where, even though that was technically Nathan Drake's last adventure, it did explore a lot about Nathan Drake's backstory with his brother and such. So it's understandable why they took aspects of that there. So I understand what they were doing with this. I'm really happy they really embraced of it being a video game movie. I just kind of feel like they should have removed a few stuff so they can save it for another time. So I thought it was pretty interesting for them to do this kind of idea for Nathan Drake, and I think they did it pretty well. I'm not sure if I can say the same thing for Sully though, because I kind of wrap my head around this character from the movie becoming how he is in the video games. I kind of feel like they missed the mark there. I mean, I'm guessing they were trying to give Sully a bit of an age, which makes sense, but it kind of just sounds, I guess, I don't really want to say this, I wish I have a better term. It kind of sounds a bit annoying at times, with his little brash behavior. But yeah, I kind of feel like the dialogue needed a bit more work when it comes to this character evolving into the game Sully, I guess. So yeah, the mustache thing was the least of our problems, alright? Which is a bit unfortunate considering that I kind of feel like this movie really wants to emphasize how, you know, Nathan Drake and Sully became partners in the first place. They really were trying to explore that, but yeah, didn't do much for me. I kind of feel like they could have done a lot more with it, and it's a bit weird that they really focus on that and don't really pay that much attention to the other characters. I kind of feel like the other characters in this movie are a bit all over the place. I mean, yeah, it's a bit hard to wrap up your head around like where the other characters are going besides Nathan Drake and Sully in this. I did have a really fun time with this movie, but I cannot argue that I kind of feel like the story is a bit bland. I mean, it's a very simple story, which isn't always a bad thing. I'm sure you can do some pretty gripping stories and have some lot of heart to it. I mean, the Sonic movie, the first Sonic movie, I mean, you can argue that, you know, it was very by the numbers when it comes to, you know, just a regular family movie, but at least they did try to do a pretty good one and have a lot of heart. It's one I do feel like they could have used a bit more in their movie to make it a pretty alright experience. Not the best video game movie of all time, but at least something that people will be at least somewhat satisfied with. So yeah, if you're gonna watch this movie, I kind of feel like you should lower your expectation down, especially if you're an Uncharted fan. I'm not sure if people haven't watched it yet. I kind of feel like I'm very late, but oh well. This is the non-spoiler review after all. And now it's time to go on to the spoiler review. I haven't done this in quite a bit, so let's get into it. I want to talk about the end credit scene first because my goodness, why does Sony love to just show endings of movies, in their trailers? I mean, now it's not just that, it's the end credit scene, the thing that you watch after the credits, like the very last thing. I mean, at least the Sonic movie is just like, you know, the end logo, I guess, and the end logo scene. But yeah, this one's a bit jarring, but I'm guessing they just wanted to show that mustache. And hey, at least it's cool to see Nathan Drake wearing that, you know, red and white t-shirt that he wore back in his younger days in the video games. But I wish I did have at least some hint as towards who are they looking at, because I don't know, that's a very vague end credit scene. I bet that was the most vague end credit scene I ever see in a movie. But yeah, I do really like some of the references in this, like the small little Easter eggs down to Nathan Drake's wardrobe. You got some of the very familiar looks from the games, not just one like, you know, the typical one that people usually know him to wear. And yeah, I do like some little Easter eggs. Literally, I saw it like the first hand, just him open the briefcase like, haha, there's the Naughty Dog logo. Of course, they will have to add that in. And yeah, we even got the cameo of, you know, Nathan Drake voice actor, which, I mean, I kind of feel like they could have done it a bit better when it comes to the dialogue. I mean, what are the chances there are two people who jump off a plane the similar way? One little reference that I didn't really mention in this non-spoiler thoughts and opinions is, of course, an actual character, which is Chloe, which of course is most prominently shown in Uncharted 2. And it's, yeah, she's kind of the most affected out of all of the, you know, the side characters when it comes to being all over the place. It's really surreal.
You cannot trust me. Oh, in fact, I'm a bad guy. Oh, you know what? You have the information I need. I'm a good guy now. I'm on your side.
Oh.
Never mind. I betray you. I'm the bad guy now.
Oh.
You know what? I kind of like you. Maybe I'll be on your side again.
Oh.
You know what? Screw it. I'm the bad guy again. See ya.
Oh. I mean, yeah, sure, in Uncharted 2, she isn't the most trustworthy character. I mean, sometimes you just want to get on with it and not try to save a dying person. But still, I kind of feel like they could have done something better with her. By the end of the movie, it's like, well, what was the point of this character again? I could say the same thing to I'm guessing that old man guy. I don't even know who his name is. You know, the old man villain that got killed off. Well, what was the point of that character? I mean, I'm guessing it's for people to go, ugh. But I don't know, he didn't have anything to do with the plot mostly, so I don't know what was the point.
I'm the bad guy. Oh, Yeah, that's right, and I'm gonna do something substantial. Oh, never mind. I'm dead. Oh.
But still, I can clearly see they really want to make this the true adaptation of the video game. It's just that, of course, there are several things that are a bit important that they missed the mark on. But still, when it comes to stuff from the video games, I think they did a pretty alright job. Again, I mentioned the references are pretty cool. And I do really like how bright and colorful it is, because in the original game, the main goal when it comes to the Naughty Dog developing it is that they want to make a very bright and colorful game in a time where most next-gen games are very dark and gritty. There was even a fun little joke about it in the little special features for the game. So yeah, I think I'm glad that they have that, a little emphasis on that. I mean, yeah, sure, movies are very bright and colorful these days, but I'm glad they didn't miss out on that. Even the whole thing of the concept of Nathan Drake looking through notes to solve problems is also here in a very unique way. You get to see him solving it using, you know, his brother's postcards, and of course there's a book at the beginning as well. And sometimes he doesn't even have the book, he just memorized it and then they solve the little puzzle. So yeah, I'm glad that they do try to find a way to implement elements from the games into it in a pretty, I guess, swift way is the best way to put it. And I really like the little climax of the movie with the boats flying in the air. I don't believe that was in any game. I mean, I've only know what happens in the 4 games, the 4 main games. I'm not sure if any spin-off has done that before, but still, if this is actually an original concept for the movie, it fits right in. I can definitely see this being something from the Uncharted games, and it kind of works really well because, you know, Nathan Drake is technically the modern day equivalent of a, you know, a pirate. I mean, he steals stuff from both, you know, random citizens or just ancient temples just to get money. So yeah, it really works pretty well for the climax. It's just that, you know, like the main story and such and some of the characters really make it fall flat, which is a bit unfortunate. I kind of feel like they do really care to make this a pretty good adaptation. It's just that I guess they focus too much on the game stuff and not focusing on the story stuff, which is a bit unfortunate. But hey, it is technically, you know, the first movie. I'm sure there's gonna be a second one since, you know, this movie has done pretty well so far at the box office, as what I can tell. And yeah, since it's a very simplistic story, similar to what happened with the first Sonic movie, who knows, maybe in the second movie they really will up the game, just like what's happening with the second Sonic movie now. So who knows, maybe there is a bright future for Uncharted in the movie franchise business. I remember when the first Sonic movie came out, and a lot of people say that, oh my goodness, the Sonic movie has broken the video game curse. And I sort of believe that. I mean, I guess it will take some time for that little curse to actually be broken completely. I mean, you know, it will take time for other, you know, movie studios to really recognize how they did it with the Sonic movie and potentially, hopefully, the second Sonic movie, and really, you know, take that into account when it comes to other video game adaptations. Of course, this is kind of the beginning of the whole PlayStation Productions little subsidiary of Sony. So hopefully they will learn from this and do some pretty great video game adaptations of their pretty good library of PlayStation games. So with that said, alright guys and gals, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And for my next review, of course, it's probably gonna be the Batman. No questions asked, because it's already out. I'm gonna be watching it soon, and hopefully by the next day I can record the video and get it out as soon as I can, so I won't have a situation like this again, especially since I have other stuff relating to a certain spiky blue hedgehog this March. So there's a lot to look forward to, and hopefully things will go well. So until then, rock it on!